Hi everyone, I'm Anthony on behalf of LFC Transfer Room, and in today's video I'm going to be going through my predicted lineup for the 2024-25 season. We'll be going through the goalkeeper position all the way to the front three and be discussing which players from the current squad will still be here and which ones would have left. Now without further ado, let's get into it. Starting off in goal, one of the easiest picks in the team is Alisson Becker. Despite the last couple of games, I think we can all see the quality Alisson brings to this Liverpool side, and football fans regard him as one of the best goalkeepers in the world, if not the best. A golden glove in his first season at the club, a man of the match performance in the Champions League final, and he's the perfect example of the modern day goalkeeper, which is why I've selected him as my number one spot. A list of his individual honours include Best FIFA Goalkeeper of 2019, the Copa America Golden Glove, the Yashin Trophy, which is given to the best goalkeeper in the world, and the Samba Gold Award. You can question if age may play a huge role in some sort of decline for him, but if you look at someone like Manuel Neuer, who just won the Sextuple with Bayern Munich at age 34, I don't think it should be too much of an issue. However, Alisson has stated before that he would like to retire at Internacional, where he started off his career, so if he does decide to retire before then, I have Pichiluga taking the number one spot. The easiest pick throughout the 11 was at right back, Trent Alexander-Arnold. I can't imagine him being anywhere else other than Liverpool unless he pulls a Raheem Sterling on us. And I feel as if Trent has the ability to become the best right back in our club's history. The one thing that impresses me the most about Trent is his ability to find the man at the end of his pass or cross. And he has the records to back this all up. In the 18-19 season, Trent got the most assists for any defender in Premier League history with 12. And not only that, he went on to smash that record and get 13 the following season, averaging an assist every 3 games. His individual honours include Young Player of the Season for 1920, Golden Boy Runner-Up in 2018, PFA Young Player of the Year, and he got into the UEFA Team of the Year. I can't really pick out any flaws in Trent's game at the moment, so what I will say is I'll view him as some sort of Steven Gerrard character, as he's got all the right qualities to become one of the best players of all time in his position. And unlike Gerrard, he actually has quality players around him. Another obvious choice for me is Virgil van Dijk. Ability-wise, Van Dijk is easily one of the best centre-backs of all time. That's why he's taken my number one spot as a centre-back. He's completely transformed this Liverpool team as we went from top 4 contenders every season to challenging for the league title. He's brought confidence to the side and even improved players around him, especially Joel Matip and Joe Gomez. His individual honours include a Ballon d'Or second place, UEFA Player of the Year, PFA Player of the Year, and even UCL Squad of the Season 3 years in a row, even though he missed the group stages in the 2017-18 season. One thing that does concern me is, will he be the same Van Dijk before the injury? I do believe he's built different and will come back just as good, but it's obviously no guarantee. It's a tough spot to decide, so I've got 2 options here, Joe Gomez and Ozan Kabak. I can't really say that I've seen a lot of Ozan Kabak, but given his age and the fact we have an obligation to buy him in the summer, shows that he has some sort of future at Liverpool. Moving on to Joe Gomez though, I actually think he's one of the best defenders in the league and almost a younger version of Van Dijk. His distribution from the back, his pace and his strength are all qualities you can admire from a young centre-back. However, the thing that impressed me the most about him is our number of goals conceded with him in the squad. So not including this season, when Joe Gomez started playing at centre-back, we've only conceded a goal every 0.41 games. And even more impressively, during the 18-19 season, we only conceded 1 goal every 4 games with him in the squad. Gomez doesn't actually have any individual honours, which I find really strange, but he has won all 4 trophies for us under Klopp's reign as Liverpool manager. One of the concerns I do have with Gomez is that he has small periods of inconsistency. I do think he actually coped well without Van Dijk for that short period, but there are times where it feels like it's too easy to attack against him. On top of this, Joe Gomez has had 3 long-term injuries, and at such a young age it may stop him from reaching his full potential. Although with that being said, I don't think we should be blind to see what Gomez offers to this Liverpool side, and hopefully he remains at the club. I've just realised that I picked the exact same back 5 from the current Liverpool team. So of course I've got Andy Robertson. For me personally, he's the best left back in the world and has been for the past 3 seasons. Robbo's another one with not too many awards, which does confuse the hell out of me. But he's found himself in many Team of the Years, so deservedly gets to stay in my predicted lineup. His ability to defend so high up the pitch and track back at the same time is what's so important to this Liverpool side. So if he does ever drop off in form, I imagine Tsimikas will take that left back spot instead. Fabinho takes the first midfield slot, playing in the defensive role. One of the best defensive midfielders in the world, who's unfortunately had to play as a makeshift centre-back this season. In terms of ability, only Kimmich beats him as an all-round defensive midfielder. So for whatever reason we want to sign Joshua Kimmich, I can't really see anyone else beating Fabinho to that spot. Likewise with Gomez, Fabinho doesn't have any personal awards, but what I will say is he's been a huge reason why we're so successful. The best thing about Fabinho is that he performs when it matters most. For example, the 4-0 win against Barcelona. And I think if it didn't take him so long to settle in at the club, we could have been on 2 Premier League titles. But we can't have too many complaints. Likewise again with Gomez, I think the only concern with Fabinho is that he's had a poor injury record as of lately. Hopefully they're not a major concern and will probably go away with more rotation in the squad. The second youngest player in the squad is Curtis Jones. He's had small cameos for us in the past 2 seasons, so it's good to see him actually start matches for us and perform to a high level. On form, I actually believe he's been the best midfielder in the team, and it looks like he has everything to his game, whether that be carrying out defensive duties or helping with the attack. We've had a few young players over the years try and make a breakthrough, but it seems like him and Trent are the only ones capable of having a career at Liverpool, excluding Harvey Elliott of course. Jones's only honour is being the player of the season for the Premier League 2. He played 14 matches and got 9 goals with 4 assists, proving his attacking quality. I don't actually see any flaws to Jones's game at the moment. Maybe you can bring up his inexperience and consistency, but I imagine in 4 to 5 years that shouldn't really be an issue. This is actually a very easy decision to put Naby Keita in the starting 11. However, he's far too injury prone, which is why I've got a backup also. And it's not actually anyone in particular, just generally a Coutinho-esque sort of player. I think anybody that doubts Naby Keita's ability is clueless, because whenever I watch him play, I imagine Sadio Mane being in central midfield. He tracks back, has really good close control and isn't afraid to take players on. Hopefully this new fitness program installed for Naby Keita helps with all the injuries he's been having, because the world will finally get to see the greatest Guinean footballer of all time. On the other hand, having a magician like Coutinho helps easily link the midfield and attack, compared to now where we have 2 flat midfielders in Gini and Milner. Keita's individual honours include CAF Team of the Year, Bundesliga Team of the Season, and Austrian Bundesliga Player of the Year. Like I said, the only real criticism of Naby Keita is his poor injury record, and selling him like people are claiming we should do makes no logical sense whatsoever. He's still a huge quality player, and due to the injuries we won't even get a big fee for him. Right wing was the toughest spot to choose, because I imagine we're going to be after a few attacking players like Adama Traore and Rafinha from Leeds. But in 4 to 5 years, I imagine Harvey Elliott could have made the same transition that Trent Alexander-Arnold has and find himself starting for us. Whenever he's played for us, he looks really promising, and I believe we have the next Lionel Messi on our hands. He's got 13 goals and assists this season, which is the most for any under-18s player in the world. And in a tough league like the Championship, he's absolutely smashing it. No individual honours for Elliott, and he may have won trophies with us, but didn't really play a part in contributing towards them. The downside to Elliott is that he's already had a couple controversies, including the Harry Kane incident. But he was just a kid at the time, and it's simply a lesson learned. Apart from that, he's looking really bright, so Mo Salah, watch out. The striker position had me stuck between 2 players, Kylian Mbappe or Divock Origi. And by a very narrow margin, I've decided to go with the World Cup winner, Mbappe. We've been linked with him for a long time now, and Klopp's even tried to sign him during his Monaco days. And if we do somehow convince him to join Mentality Monsters FC, I don't think we actually have to worry about the future of the club. I do believe this ultimately depends on whether or not we can offer him Champions League football next season. It's worrying for us at the moment, so hopefully we do dig deep and go back to winning ways. His individual honours include a Ballon d'Or 7th place, 4th place and 6th place in the past 3 years, the World Cup Best Young Player, and French Player of the Year from 2018 and 2019. There's literally no downside to this transfer whatsoever. The incentive of playing under Klopp and actually having a shot at winning the Champions League is what could bring him to Liverpool. However, the same could be said with Zidane and Real Madrid. Our biggest signing of the season, Diogo Jota, takes up the last space in this Liverpool team. He had a great start to the season, and it's just a shame that it got put to a halt due to injury. He's already shown his ability to score goals for us and doesn't look out of place one bit in this Klopp side. His individual honours include Liverpool Player of the Month for October and November, and he's actually had success on an international level unlike a lot of our players, winning the UEFA Nations League with Portugal. My only concern for Jota is that he's going to leave us in the future for some esports Premier League team. But on a serious level, the glimpses he's shown us so far have been very promising to say the least. Now that's the team wrapped up. I've actually only got one other player who I believe will stay at the club, and that's Sadio Mane / Mohamed Salah. The rest of them are all quality players, and it's going to be a shame to see them all go at one point. I actually believe a couple of them will still be at the club, but in a coaching role. So James Milner and Henderson may help out during training sessions. Just before I end the video, I would like to say that it's actually impossible to predict these things. You look at the likes of Fabinho, Alisson, Mane, I didn't know who these players were 5 years before we signed them. So with that being said, make sure you leave your thoughts in the comment section down below on how accurate I was, and even leave your predicted lineups in the next 5 years. Thanks for watching everyone. I've been Anthony Woodley on behalf of LFC Transfer Room. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and make sure you subscribe to the LFC Transfer Room with notifications on, because you do not want to be missing out on any special content we have coming up soon. And I can't wait to see you all in the next video.